In Vedic astrology, the moon holds a place of paramount importance. It is not merely a celestial body that affects the tides or marks the passage of time. In astrological terms, the moon represents the core of our being, the essence of our emotional world, and the lens through which we experience life. The moon governs our mind, emotions, and overall mental well-being, making it a vital component in understanding our inner selves and how we relate to the world around us. One of the most intriguing aspects of the moon in Vedic astrology is its influence on physical characteristics. While the ascendant, sun, and dominant signs are often considered primary indicators of one's appearance, the moon sign tends to have a more profound impact on a person's physicality. The moon reflects how we nourish and care for our bodies, which in turn affects our physical form. This connection to nutrition and self-care means that the moon can indicate fluctuations in weight, overall health, and even how we physically express our emotions. For instance, individuals with a strong moon may exhibit a softer, more nurturing appearance, often associated with the qualities of the moon's sign and house placement. The moon's influence extends beyond the physical, delving deep into our psychological and emotional makeup. It is often said that the moon sign reveals who we truly are, more so than the sun sign. This is because the moon represents our subconscious mind, our innate responses, and the qualities that come naturally to us without effort. Unlike the sun, which symbolizes the qualities we aspire to develop, the moon is our true self, the part of us that feels most comfortable and authentic. For example, a person with the moon in Aries may embody the characteristics of Aries more deeply and naturally than someone with the sun in Aries. The moon's sign shows the energy we instinctively express, especially in intimate settings or when we are alone. The moon's placement in a natal chart is crucial for understanding one's emotional needs and how these needs influence their life choices. It governs the aspects of life that bring us comfort and security, often linked to our relationship with our mother or primary caregiver. The moon's position can reveal how we seek emotional fulfillment, our habits, and our instinctual reactions to the world around us. It also plays a significant role in determining our mental health and stability, as the moon's fluctuating nature can lead to varying degrees of emotional highs and lows. Moon is also closely associated with the mind's capacity for calm and clarity. A well-placed moon can indicate a person who is emotionally balanced, nurturing, and capable of handling life's challenges with grace. Conversely, a poorly placed or afflicted moon can suggest emotional turmoil, anxiety, or a predisposition to mental stress. One of the unique characteristics of the moon is its waxing and waning nature, symbolizing the fluctuating aspects of life. The moon is considered benefic during its waxing phase and malefic during its waning phase. This dual nature reflects the constant changes in our emotional states and life circumstances. Understanding this can help individuals navigate their emotional highs and lows more effectively, making the most of the positive phases and managing the challenges during the tougher times. The moon's maturity age is 24 years, which marks a significant turning point in an individual's life. After this age, the moon begins to deliver more stable and positive results, as it has completed its lessons of emotional growth and mental maturity. This period often brings about a deeper understanding of oneself, greater emotional stability, and a clearer sense of purpose. Understanding the moon's significance in astrology is crucial for gaining a deeper insight into not only who we are but also how we interact with the world. By examining the moon's sign, house placement, and aspects, we can gain a more holistic understanding of our inner world and how it influences our outer reality. As you explore the moon's placement in different houses, you will uncover the various ways this luminary shapes our experiences, emotions, and relationships. With this context in mind, let's delve into the predictions for the moon in each house, without considering the influence of signs, nakshatra placements, conjunctions, or aspects. Having the moon in the first house, also known as the ascendant, deeply influences various facets of your personality, emotional life, and overall health. This position signifies that your mind and emotions are closely intertwined with your sense of self, making you someone whose feelings and inner world are prominently displayed to others. One of the most notable effects of the moon in the first house is heightened emotional sensitivity. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and it's nearly impossible for you to hide your feelings. Whether you're happy, sad, or anything in between, those around you can easily read your emotions. This transparency can make you appear very genuine and trustworthy, allowing others to feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings with you. However, it can also make you vulnerable to being emotionally overwhelmed, as you might struggle to separate your feelings from objective facts. Your emotions often rule your decisions, and you may find it difficult to detach from situations that evoke strong feelings. This can lead to a tendency to overreact or take things too personally. Being aware of this inclination is crucial because it can help you avoid emotional burnout and the potential to suffocate relationships by being overly intense. Your social life is vibrant, as you are naturally cheerful, outgoing, and enjoy being around others. You possess an enchanting aura that draws people towards you, making you popular in social circles. You have a strong need to be emotionally connected with others, often seeking emotional nourishment from your relationships. This need can sometimes make you dependent on the approval and affection of those around you, which, if unmet, could lead to feelings of insecurity. Romantically, the moon's aspect on the 7th house of spouse indicates that you seek deep emotional connections in your partnerships. You are affectionate and nurturing in relationships, valuing your life partner deeply. However, you must be cautious not to become too emotionally dependent on your partner, as this can create a dynamic where you may feel vulnerable or hurt easily. Emotional stimulation is essential for you, and without it, you might feel unfulfilled or restless. The 1st house governs self-perception, physical appearance, and overall health. With the moon in this house, your self-image is strongly tied to your emotional state. You may have a round face or prominent cheeks, and you might be prone to skin issues like acne, particularly on your face. This is because the moon's influence can make certain parts of the body, especially those governed by the house it occupies, more sensitive or prone to ailments. Physically, you may experience weakness or health challenges, especially in the early years of your life. It's essential to maintain a balanced diet and avoid overindulgence in sweets and dairy, which you might be particularly fond of or allergic to. Your health is closely connected to your emotional well-being, so managing stress and ensuring you have a stable home environment is crucial for maintaining good health. Your sensitive and empathetic nature can make you excel in professions that require a deep understanding of emotions and the ability to connect with others. Fields such as counseling, psychology, and the arts, especially acting, could be particularly rewarding for you. Your ability to express emotions clearly and convincingly can make you a phenomenal actor, as you can easily tap into the emotional depth required for such roles. However, your ever-changing moods can make it challenging for others to work with you, especially in environments that require stability and consistency. You might find it difficult to thrive in highly structured or rigid settings, as your emotional state can fluctuate, leading to periods of high productivity followed by times of emotional withdrawal. It's important for you to find a career that allows for emotional expression and flexibility. There is a strong potential for spiritual growth with the moon in the 1st house. You may be naturally inclined towards spirituality, seeking deeper meaning and understanding of your inner world. This placement can lead to significant achievements in spiritual practices, as your emotional sensitivity and intuitive nature allow you to connect with higher realms of consciousness. Your journey may involve traveling or engaging with various spiritual traditions, enriching your life path with profound experiences. While the moon in the 1st house brings many positive attributes, it also presents challenges that need to be addressed. The tendency to be self-centered or overly focused on personal gains can strain relationships. It's essential to cultivate awareness of others' needs and avoid letting your emotions dominate your interactions. Practicing mindfulness and developing emotional resilience can help you manage these tendencies. Your strong attachment to your mother or maternal figure can play a significant role in your life, shaping your emotional responses and behavior. Whether this influence is positive or challenging, understanding and balancing this dynamic is crucial for your personal growth. Overall, the moon in the 1st house offers a complex blend of emotional depth, sensitivity, and spiritual potential. By embracing your empathetic nature while also learning to manage your emotional responses, you can lead a fulfilling life enriched by meaningful connections and personal achievements. This placement encourages you to navigate the delicate balance between emotional expression and self-control, ultimately leading to greater self-awareness and spiritual growth. When the moon is placed in the 2nd house of a natal chart, it significantly influences various aspects of life, particularly related to family, wealth, speech, and values. The 2nd house governs your family lineage, accumulated wealth, the food you prefer, and how you communicate. With the moon in this position, your emotional world is deeply tied to these areas, creating a complex interplay between your inner feelings and your external circumstances. One of the primary effects of the moon in the 2nd house is a strong emotional connection to your family and its traditions. You are likely to value family ties deeply, and your sense of security and well-being is closely linked to the stability and harmony within your family. Your mother, in particular, plays a crucial role in your life, often being the cornerstone of the family's emotional and practical management. This attachment can make you someone who cherishes family traditions and values, possibly becoming the one who upholds these within your household. Your emotional security is often tied to the well-being and happiness of your family. This attachment can manifest as a desire to protect and nurture your loved ones, ensuring that they feel secure and supported. However, this can also lead to a tendency to place your family's needs above your own, sometimes at the cost of your personal well-being. Being aware of this inclination is essential to maintaining a healthy balance between your own needs and those of your family. The second house is also the domain of wealth and assets, and with the moon placed here, your emotions are closely tied to your financial situation. You may experience fluctuations in your financial status, as the moon's waxing and waning nature brings periodic highs and lows. These changes can cause anxiety, especially if you equate financial stability with emotional security. When your finances are stable, you feel secure and content, but any instability can lead to stress and uncertainty. However, if the moon is in earth signs, like in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, this placement can provide a more stable financial outlook. The grounding energy of earth signs helps to stabilize the moon's natural fluctuations, leading to more consistent financial growth and security. Even so, you may still experience periods of financial change, but the impact might be less severe, and you are likely to handle these fluctuations with greater resilience. Your attachment to material possessions is another significant aspect of this placement. You likely have a strong affinity for the things you own, finding comfort and security in your belongings. This can make you possessive, not only of your physical assets, but also of your relationships. You might find it challenging to share your possessions or let others handle them, as your emotional attachment to these items is profound. The second house also governs speech and communication, and the moon's influence here can make you a soft-spoken and cultured individual. Your words often carry an emotional weight, and you have a way of expressing yourself that resonates with others. However, if afflicted, there may be challenges related to speech, such as difficulties in articulating your thoughts or speech disorders that you need to overcome. Your self-worth is closely tied to your ability to communicate effectively and maintain harmonious relationships. The constant changes in your emotional state can lead to fluctuations in your self-esteem. You might find yourself feeling confident and self-assured when things are going well, but any disruption in your financial or familial stability can lead to doubts about your worth. Building and maintaining a strong sense of self-worth is crucial, especially during times of financial or emotional instability. With the moon in the second house, you may have a natural talent for cooking, even if you aren't formally trained. Your intuitive understanding of flavors and ingredients allows you to create delicious and comforting meals. This talent likely stems from your emotional connection to food, as you find joy and satisfaction in both preparing and sharing meals with loved ones. Your attention to detail and desire to nurture others through food make you a pleasant and attentive host, often creating memorable dining experiences. You are also likely to have a strong inclination towards sensual pleasures, particularly those related to food. Your attachment to these pleasures can be overpowering at times, leading to indulgence in your favorite foods or other sensory delights. While this can bring you joy, it's essential to maintain a balance to avoid overindulgence, which could impact your health and well-being. The moon's aspect on the 8th house from the 2nd house brings an element of curiosity about the occult, astrology, and hidden matters. You may find yourself drawn to esoteric subjects, seeking to understand the mysteries of life and death. This curiosity can lead to an interest in spiritual practices or studying ancient wisdom, as you explore the deeper aspects of existence. You may have a particular interest in your in-laws' wealth and assets. This doesn't necessarily mean you are materialistic, but rather that you are naturally curious about the financial dynamics within your extended family. This interest could manifest in various ways, from a concern for their financial well-being to an active involvement in managing or advising on family wealth. While the moon in the 2nd house generally brings positive influences, there are challenges to be mindful of. The tendency to be overly attached to material possessions and financial stability can lead to stress and anxiety when things don't go as planned. It's important to cultivate emotional resilience and learn to find security within yourself, rather than relying solely on external factors. Your mother's influence on your value system and finances is another critical area to consider. While her guidance can be invaluable, it's essential to develop your own sense of self-worth and financial independence. This will help you navigate the inevitable fluctuations in life with greater confidence and stability. Overall, the moon in the 2nd house offers a blend of emotional depth, financial acumen, and a strong connection to family and traditions. By embracing these qualities while also addressing the challenges, you can lead a fulfilling and balanced life, enriched by meaningful relationships and a stable sense of self-worth. This placement encourages you to find harmony between your emotional needs and material desires, ultimately leading to greater emotional security and contentment. The moon's placement in the third house of a natal chart creates a complex and dynamic influence on the individual's mental and emotional life, communication style, relationships with siblings, and overall approach to gathering and processing information. The third house, which governs communication, short-distance travel, siblings, self-effort, and business acumen, intertwines with the moon's representation of emotions, the mind, and maternal influence, producing a unique blend of intellectual curiosity, emotional depth, and a fluctuating mental state. When the moon is positioned in the third house, it imbues a person with an insatiable curiosity about the world. The mind becomes a sponge, eager to absorb knowledge on a wide range of subjects. This placement fosters a strong desire to learn, explore, and gather information, making the individual well-versed in numerous areas. However, this constant quest for knowledge can also lead to a scattered focus, as the mind is continually jumping from one topic to another. The person may find it challenging to stick to one subject for an extended period, leading to frequent changes in interests and hobbies. This restless pursuit of knowledge can sometimes lead to overthinking and mental exhaustion. The mind, constantly active and processing information, may struggle to find peace, particularly during the night, which could result in difficulties with sleep. Despite these challenges, the emotional fulfillment derived from learning and intellectual engagement is significant. Gaining knowledge and sharing it with others provides a deep sense of satisfaction and emotional security. The third house governs communication, and with the moon's influence, the individual's communication style is marked by emotional depth and sensitivity. These individuals are not just interested in the facts, they are keenly aware of the emotional undercurrents in their interactions. They often aim to reach others on an emotional level through their words, making them effective communicators who can connect deeply with their audience. This ability to touch others' hearts with their words can make them successful in fields that require persuasive communication, such as sales, marketing, or public relations. However, despite this potential for eloquence, there may be challenges in articulating thoughts clearly at times. The moon's fluctuating nature can cause a person's ideas and emotions to shift rapidly, making it difficult to maintain a consistent or coherent message. This could result in moments of hesitation or self-doubt when speaking in front of others. To overcome this, the individual may need to develop techniques for grounding their thoughts and expressing them more confidently. The third house also represents siblings, and the moon's placement here often signifies a strong emotional bond with younger siblings. These individuals are deeply connected to their siblings, often playing a nurturing or protective role within the family. This attachment can be a source of great joy and support, but it can also lead to emotional dependence, where the person's mood is closely tied to the well-being and actions of their siblings. In addition to the sibling relationship, the influence of the mother or a mother-like figure is profoundly significant in shaping the individual's mind and emotional outlook. The mother is likely to be a communicative and possibly business-oriented woman, whose influence encourages the individual to develop their communication skills and perhaps even pursue a career in a related field. The values and lessons imparted by the mother play a crucial role in the person's development, particularly in how they interact with others and express their emotions. The moon in the third house also endows a person with a strong business sense. Their mind is naturally inclined toward business ideas, and they are often drawn to ventures that require clever communication, marketing, and self-promotion. The ability to collect and process large amounts of information quickly can be a tremendous asset in the business world, where staying informed and adaptable is key to success. This placement suggests a natural talent for entrepreneurship, where the individual's curiosity and communication skills can be leveraged to create and grow a successful enterprise. Moon's aspect on the ninth house, which governs higher knowledge, philosophy, and long-distance travel, indicates that these individuals are not only interested in local or immediate concerns but are also drawn to broader, more philosophical questions. They may be fascinated by different cultures, religions, and ways of thinking, often seeking to expand their horizons through travel or academic study. This aspect also suggests a potential interest in publishing, teaching, or sharing the knowledge they've acquired with a wider audience. Emotionally, those with the moon in the third house may experience a constant interplay between logic and emotion. Their minds are sharp and analytical, but they are also deeply in tune with their own emotions and those of others. This duality can lead to a tendency to rationalize feelings, where emotions are processed through a logical framework rather than being experienced directly. While this can be helpful in managing emotional situations objectively, it can also create internal conflict, as the individual may struggle to fully express or understand their deeper feelings. These individuals may also have a strong need for change and variety in their lives. The moon's influence brings a desire for constant movement, whether through new ideas, experiences, or environments. This can make them restless and eager for new challenges, but it can also lead to difficulties in finding lasting stability or satisfaction in one place or pursuit. The moon's placement in the third house can also contribute to a desire for public recognition and fame. These individuals are often drawn to activities that put them in the public eye, whether through writing, speaking, or social media. They may find that sharing their personal stories, particularly those related to their childhood, values, and upbringing, resonates with a broad audience. This visibility can bring them considerable attention and potentially lead to a significant following or reputation in their chosen field. Overall, the moon in the third house creates a multifaceted and dynamic personality, characterized by intellectual curiosity, strong communication skills, and a deep emotional connection to family and siblings. While this placement offers many strengths, such as business acumen and the ability to connect with others emotionally, it also presents challenges, particularly in managing the constant mental activity and fluctuating emotions that can accompany this position. By embracing these qualities and learning to balance the demands of their active minds with their emotional needs, individuals with this placement can lead fulfilling and successful lives. The moon's placement in the fourth house creates a powerful influence on an individual's emotional life, family relationships, and sense of security. The fourth house governs home, family, mother, and emotional well-being, while the moon represents the mind, emotions, and maternal energy. When the moon occupies this house, it amplifies these themes, making the person deeply connected to their family and home environment. This placement also brings a strong sense of nostalgia, a desire for emotional security, and a protective nature, particularly towards loved ones. The moon in the fourth house signifies a profound emotional bond with the family, especially the mother. This placement intensifies the importance of maternal influence in the individual's life. The mother plays a pivotal role, not only as a caregiver but also as a source of emotional guidance and support. Her teachings and nurturing are deeply ingrained in the person's psyche, shaping their values, behaviors, and emotional responses. This strong connection often makes the individual highly fond of their parents, particularly the mother, and they may feel a deep sense of loyalty and responsibility towards her. This emotional attachment to the family extends to the broader home environment as well. The individual finds comfort and peace within the confines of their home, viewing it as a sanctuary from the outside world. They are likely to prioritize family gatherings, traditions, and the maintenance of a harmonious home life. Their emotional well-being is closely tied to the stability and security of their home, making it essential for them to create a nurturing and supportive environment for themselves and their loved ones. Individuals with the moon in the fourth house are naturally nurturing and protective, often assuming a caretaker role within their family or community. Their motherly instincts are strong, and they derive satisfaction from taking care of others. This makes them well-suited for professions that involve caregiving, such as nursing, teaching, or counseling. They have a deep understanding of the emotional needs of others and are often the first to offer support, comfort, or advice. This nurturing nature is also evident in their relationships. They are highly sensitive to the needs and feelings of their loved ones, often going out of their way to ensure the well-being of those they care about. However, this sensitivity can also make them vulnerable to emotional imbalances, particularly if they feel that their efforts are not reciprocated or appreciated. They may struggle with setting boundaries, as their instinct to care for others can sometimes overshadow their own needs. The need for emotional security is a defining characteristic of those with the moon in the fourth house. They feel most at ease when surrounded by familiar faces and environments, and they are often wary of strangers or new situations. This cautious approach to relationships can make it difficult for others to get close to them, as they are selective about whom they trust with their emotions. However, once someone has gained their trust, the individual with this moon placement is fiercely loyal and devoted, often forming lifelong bonds. This placement also suggests a strong need for stability and consistency in their environment. They may feel restless if their surroundings are too chaotic or unpredictable, leading to a desire to frequently change or improve their living situation. This restlessness can manifest as a need to move homes or redecorate, as they seek to create a space that truly feels like a safe haven. On a deeper level, this desire for change may also reflect an inner search for emotional fulfillment, or a longing to reconnect with their roots. The influence of parents, particularly the mother, is profound in the lives of those with the moon in the fourth house. Their upbringing plays a significant role in shaping their personality, values, and emotional responses. These individuals may find themselves constantly seeking their parents' approval, even in adulthood. This can lead to a subconscious pattern of behavior where they are always striving to meet the expectations set by their parents, particularly their mother. While this deep-rooted connection to their parents can provide a strong foundation of support and security, it can also present challenges. For instance, they may find it difficult to break free from old habits or familial expectations, even if these no longer serve their best interests. The fear of disappointing their parents or disrupting the family harmony can make it hard for them to assert their independence or pursue their own path. Although these individuals are deeply emotional, they may find it challenging to express their feelings openly, especially with those outside their immediate family circle. They tend to keep their emotions close to the chest, sharing their true feelings only with those they trust implicitly. This can create a sense of emotional distance in their relationships, as others may find it difficult to penetrate their protective shell. On the other hand, this guarded approach to emotional expression can also serve as a source of strength. It allows them to maintain their emotional equilibrium in difficult situations, as they are not easily swayed by external influences. However, it is important for them to find healthy outlets for their emotions, such as creative pursuits, therapy, or deep conversations with trusted loved ones, to prevent feelings of loneliness or isolation. The home is of paramount importance to those with the moon in the fourth house. They invest a great deal of time and energy into creating a comfortable and aesthetically pleasing living space. Their home is a reflection of their inner world, and they take pride in making it a place of beauty, warmth, and tranquility. They may also be drawn to living near water or in places that evoke a sense of peace and serenity. Throughout their lives, they may experience several relocations, driven by a need for change or a desire to find the perfect place that resonates with their emotional needs. Each move is likely to bring new experiences and opportunities for growth, but the individual will always seek to recreate a sense of home wherever they go. Overall, the moon in the fourth house creates a deeply emotional and nurturing individual who is strongly connected to their family, particularly their mother. Their need for emotional security drives them to create a harmonious home environment and form close, lasting relationships with loved ones. While they are generous and caring, they may also struggle with emotional imbalances and a reluctance to trust outsiders. The influence of their upbringing and parental approval plays a significant role in their lives, shaping their values, behaviors, and sense of self. By embracing their nurturing instincts and finding healthy ways to express their emotions, individuals with this placement can lead fulfilling and emotionally secure lives. When the moon is positioned in the fifth house of a natal chart, it brings together the emotional, nurturing, and instinctive qualities of the moon with the creativity, joy, and expressiveness of the fifth house. This placement has a profound impact on the individual's personality, relationships, and life experiences, especially in areas related to creativity, children, and personal expression. The fifth house is traditionally associated with children, creativity, and self-expression. When the moon, which governs emotions and the subconscious mind, resides in this house, it indicates a deep emotional connection to one's children. Individuals with this placement are likely to be highly nurturing and protective of their offspring. They may experience profound joy and satisfaction through their relationships with their children, seeing them as an extension of their own emotional world. This attachment often makes them highly involved parents who take great pleasure in guiding, teaching, and supporting their children. The moon's presence in the fifth house enhances the individual's creativity and artistic inclinations. These people are naturally inclined toward creative pursuits, whether in the form of art, music, drama, or writing. Their emotions play a significant role in their creative process, often using art as a medium to express their deepest feelings. This placement also suggests a love for activities that allow for personal expression, such as acting, painting, or even engaging in hobbies that bring joy and fulfillment. The individual's creativity is not just a hobby but a core aspect of their emotional well-being. The fifth house is also linked to pleasure, romance, and love affairs. The moon's influence here suggests that the individual derives a great deal of emotional fulfillment from romantic relationships and experiences of joy and pleasure. They are likely to be charismatic and attractive in love matters, often drawing people towards them with their warm and affectionate nature. There is a strong desire for emotional pampering, and they thrive when they are praised or appreciated by others. Their romantic relationships are deeply emotional, and they often seek partners who can reciprocate their emotional depth and affection. However, this placement also brings a tendency towards moodiness and emotional fluctuation in love matters. The moon's changing nature can make these individuals prone to emotional ups and downs, which may affect their relationships. They may also have a tendency to be overly dramatic or to exaggerate their feelings, especially when it comes to love and romance. This can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or conflicts in relationships, particularly if their partner is less emotionally expressive or responsive. Individuals with the moon in the 5th house often have a strong intellectual curiosity and a love for learning. They are drawn to education, not just in the formal sense, but also in terms of exploring ancient texts, spiritual teachings, and other forms of knowledge that resonate with them on an emotional level. The moon's influence makes them particularly interested in subjects that connect with their inner world, such as mythology, spirituality, and the occult. They may find comfort and emotional fulfillment in studying these subjects, often seeing them as a way to connect with something larger than themselves. This intellectual curiosity also extends to their creative pursuits. They may enjoy learning new skills or techniques that enhance their artistic abilities, whether it's learning a new instrument, taking up painting, or exploring different forms of artistic expression. The moon's placement in the 5th house makes them lifelong learners, always seeking to expand their knowledge and understanding of the world around them. The moon represents the mother in astrology, and its placement in the 5th house suggests that the individual's mother played a significant role in nurturing their creativity and intellectual development. The mother is likely to have been a creative or educated woman who encouraged the individual to explore their creative talents and pursue education. This influence often leaves a lasting impact, making the individual value creativity and learning throughout their life. Individuals with this placement tend to have a nurturing nature themselves, especially when it comes to their children and loved ones. They are protective and caring, often taking on the role of a caretaker in their relationships. Their nurturing qualities also extend to their creative projects, which they treat with the same care and attention as they would their own children. This placement suggests a deep-seated need to nurture and be nurtured, both in their personal relationships and in their creative endeavors. While the moon in the 5th house brings many positive qualities, it also comes with certain challenges. The individual may struggle with emotional volatility, especially in matters related to creativity, children, and romance. Their strong emotional attachment to these areas of life can sometimes lead to overprotectiveness or a tendency to become too emotionally involved, which can be overwhelming for both themselves and those around them. The desire for praise and emotional pampering can sometimes make them overly dependent on the approval of others. They may need to learn to find emotional fulfillment from within, rather than relying on external validation. This placement also suggests a potential for mood swings and emotional instability, which can affect their relationships and creative pursuits. Overall, moon in the 5th house is a placement that enhances creativity, emotional depth, and a strong connection to children and personal expression. It brings a love for learning, a nurturing nature, and a deep emotional connection to one's creative endeavors. However, it also comes with challenges, such as emotional volatility and a tendency to seek external validation. With self-awareness and emotional growth, individuals with this placement can harness the positive qualities of this placement to lead a fulfilling and creative life. When the moon is placed in the 6th house of a natal chart, it introduces a complex interplay between the mind, emotions, and the challenging themes of the 6th house. The moon, representing one's emotional core, motherly influences, mental state, and domestic life, comes into direct contact with the energies of health, service, routine, debts, enemies, and daily work environment associated with the 6th house. This positioning has both positive and negative implications, and the overall effects depend heavily on the aspects and conditions of the moon and other planetary influences in the chart. The 6th house is often considered one of the most challenging houses in astrology, as it is the first of the Dusthana houses and the second of the Upachaya houses. The moon's placement here suggests that the individual is no stranger to obstacles, enemies, disputes, and health issues. Initially, this position may manifest as a significant emotional burden. The sensitive and nurturing nature of the moon finds itself in an environment filled with conflicts and adversities, leading to emotional distress and mental strain. However, with time and experience, individuals with this placement develop a remarkable resilience. They learn to navigate these difficulties, often becoming adept at managing disputes and overcoming obstacles. This adaptability can lead them to excel in professions where such challenges are routine, such as medicine, law, military service, or any field requiring regular problem-solving and crisis management. The daily confrontation with difficulties may toughen their mental state, turning what initially seems like a weakness into a significant strength. The connection between the moon and health in the 6th house can manifest in various ways. The moon's influence over water and nourishment suggests that these individuals may experience health issues related to the stomach, digestion, and possibly the eyes. The emotional nature of the moon means that stress and anxiety are likely to manifest physically, making the individual prone to psychosomatic disorders. Fluctuating emotions can deteriorate their health, especially when they are unable to maintain a stable routine or when they face disruptions in their daily life. Interestingly, despite these health challenges, this placement also hints at increased longevity. The moon's presence in the 6th house suggests a deep-seated need to focus on health, nutrition, and well-being, which may lead to a disciplined approach to diet and lifestyle. However, if the moon is afflicted, there may be issues with nourishing the body properly, potentially leading to eating disorders or an unhealthy relationship with food. These individuals can become overly critical and perfectionistic about their dietary habits, sometimes to the point of extreme self-restriction. The moon in the 6th house can complicate relationships, particularly with parents and coworkers. The constant emotional turbulence associated with this placement may strain bonds, making it difficult to maintain harmonious relationships. There might be frequent job changes or issues at the workplace, where the individual struggles to find a stable and supportive environment. However, when they do find a job they love, they are likely to thrive, finding emotional satisfaction in their work and a strong connection with their coworkers. On the family front, the relationship with the mother may reflect the challenges indicated by the 6th house. The mother might have faced similar obstacles, possibly working in service-oriented fields or dedicating herself to helping others. This influence can instill in the individual a deep need to serve and help others, often manifesting in a caring and nurturing attitude towards those in need, including animals. People with the moon in the 6th house typically have a unique bond with animals, feeling a strong urge to protect and care for them. Individuals with the moon in the 6th house are often driven by a need to serve others. They are hardworking, diligent, and focused on helping those around them. Their emotional satisfaction is closely tied to their ability to contribute meaningfully to their work, particularly in roles that involve solving problems or providing care. They may excel in professions that require them to be detail-oriented, critical, and perfectionistic, such as healthcare, social work, or any service-oriented industry. Their emotional energy is often channeled into their work, and they may not easily express their feelings unless something significantly impacts them. This stoic approach can make them seem reserved or emotionally distant, but it also allows them to remain focused and productive, especially in high-pressure environments. While the moon in the 6th house brings significant challenges, it also offers substantial opportunities for growth and self-improvement. The individual's emotional resilience, nurtured by constant exposure to adversity, can become one of their greatest strengths. However, they must be mindful of their health, particularly the potential for stress-related illnesses and the need to maintain a balanced diet and lifestyle. This placement also encourages the development of strong problem-solving skills and the ability to handle conflicts with grace and efficiency. Though the road may be tough, those with the moon in the 6th house often emerge as strong, capable, and compassionate individuals who can thrive in challenging environments and make a significant impact through their work and service to others. Overall, the moon in the 6th house is a placement of emotional complexity and resilience. It presents challenges in health, relationships, and career, but also offers the potential for significant personal growth, particularly in service-oriented fields. By embracing the lessons of this placement, individuals can turn their emotional challenges into strengths, finding fulfillment in their ability to help and heal others. When the moon is placed in the 7th house of a natal chart, it forms a powerful connection between one's emotions, mind, and relationships, particularly in the context of marriage, partnerships, and interactions with the masses. The 7th house, often associated with the marketplace, other people, business partnerships, and marital happiness, is a critical area of life where the moon's influence can shape an individual's experiences and emotional well-being. This placement has far-reaching implications, influencing personal relationships, career choices, emotional fulfillment, and public persona. The moon in the 7th house places a strong emphasis on relationships, making the individual's emotional health closely tied to their interactions with others, particularly with a spouse or long-term partner. This person is likely to be deeply involved emotionally with their partner, seeking peace of mind and fulfillment through their connection. The 7th house, being the house of marriage and partnerships, means that such individuals often prioritize their spouse's happiness and well-being above their own. The idea of a soulmate or a deep, Emotional connection with a significant other is particularly appealing to them. This placement often results in a profound need for emotional support from their partner, which can sometimes lead to a sense of vulnerability. The individual may feel incomplete without a strong, supportive relationship, making them more prone to emotional fluctuations depending on the state of their personal relationships. Their mental health and emotional stability are closely linked to how well they are supported by their loved ones, particularly their spouse. The seventh house is also the house of business, and when the moon is placed here, it creates a business-minded individual. The moon's connection to the mind and emotions combined with the seventh house's association with trade and partnerships makes these individuals excellent traders, merchants, and deal makers. They have a natural talent for business, often excelling in roles that require negotiation, collaboration, and understanding of others' needs. Their ability to connect with people easily and their keen sense of emotional intelligence make them well-liked and successful in the marketplace. In addition to business acumen, these individuals often have a strong public persona. They are likely to be admired and well-regarded by others, with a talent for maintaining good relationships and fostering a positive image. This placement also indicates an interest in being admired and appreciated by the public, which can lead to a career in fields where public interaction is key, such as politics, law, or the arts. The moon in the seventh house creates a deep need for emotional connection and fulfillment through others. These individuals are often happiest when they are surrounded by loved ones who support and appreciate them. They are affectionate, loving, and enjoy being pampered and praised by those they hold dear. Their well-being is closely tied to having a good group of people around them who can return their affections, as they are generally very affectionate and sweet towards those they care about. This placement often leads to a codependent nature, where the individual seeks emotional safety and fulfillment through one-on-one relationships. They may use their personal relationships to achieve their goals, relying on their ability to connect with others and their good people skills to navigate social situations. The desire for intimacy and affection is strong, and they often find themselves drawn to romantic gestures and the idea of a deep, emotional bond with a partner. The moon also represents the mother, and its placement in the seventh house can indicate a strong connection to the mother, particularly in terms of emotional needs and support. The individual may seek a partner who embodies qualities similar to those of their mother, or who can provide the emotional nourishment that might have been lacking in childhood. This placement suggests that the mother may have been a significant influence on the individual's approach to relationships, possibly instilling a strong desire for a nurturing and supportive partnership. If the mother was involved in business or had a strong bargaining ability, this could have influenced the individual's own business acumen and approach to partnerships. The emotional support, or lack thereof, received during childhood can shape how these individuals form and maintain relationships in adulthood, often leading to a reliance on a partner for emotional security and fulfillment. While the moon in the seventh house brings many positive qualities, such as a loving nature, strong relationship skills, and a talent for business, it also comes with challenges. The deep emotional involvement in relationships can sometimes lead to overdependence on a partner, making the individual vulnerable to emotional instability if the relationship is not stable. They may struggle with feelings of insecurity or fear of abandonment, which can impact their mental health and overall well-being. However, this placement also offers opportunities for growth and fulfillment through relationships. By cultivating a balanced and supportive partnership, these individuals can find emotional peace and happiness. Their ability to connect with others on a deep emotional level can lead to strong, enduring relationships that provide the support and love they crave. The moon in the seventh house also suggests a strong inclination towards travel, particularly by water or to places near water bodies. These individuals are likely to have a deep love for travel, often finding emotional satisfaction and peace through exploring new places with their partner. This placement indicates that travel will be a significant part of their life, possibly even influencing their career choices or lifestyle. They may also have a desire to settle abroad, which can be achieved with relative ease. Their children may inherit this love for travel, although they might face challenges in finding stable careers, leading to frequent changes in profession. The individual's dynamic personality and penchant for adventure make them well-suited for a life filled with travel and exploration, particularly when shared with a loved one. Overall, the moon in the seventh house is a powerful placement that deeply influences an individual's relationships, emotional health, and public persona. It creates a strong need for emotional connection and support, making relationships a central focus of their life. While this placement comes with challenges, particularly in terms of emotional stability and dependency, it also offers tremendous opportunities for growth, fulfillment, and success in both personal and professional spheres. By nurturing their relationships and leveraging their business acumen, individuals with this placement can achieve emotional satisfaction and a well-balanced life. When the moon is positioned in the 8th house of a natal chart, it brings a complex and intense set of influences into an individual's life. The moon, representing the mind, emotions, mother, peace of mind, and home environment, finds itself in a challenging and transformative space within the 8th house. The 8th house governs secrecy, occult knowledge, death, transformation, inheritance, joint wealth with a spouse, and sudden changes. This placement is not considered favorable for the moon, a planet that thrives on emotional stability and comfort, as the 8th house is characterized by its association with the unknown, uncertainty, and profound transformation. The moon in the 8th house often results in a life marked by emotional turbulence. The individual may experience sudden and unexpected changes that deeply affect their emotional state. These events can range from significant personal losses to drastic changes in their environment or relationships. The 8th house's association with transformation means that the person is likely to undergo significant emotional and psychological shifts throughout their life, often triggered by intense and sometimes traumatic experiences. The moon's soft and nurturing qualities are challenged in this house, making it difficult for the person to find peace of mind. They may constantly feel on edge, anticipating the next upheaval, which can lead to anxiety and a lack of emotional stability. This is especially true in the earlier stages of life when the individual may struggle to adapt to the constant changes and uncertainties that life throws at them. The relationship with the mother is often a focal point for individuals with the moon in the 8th house. The moon's placement here suggests that the mother may have gone through significant hardships and emotional ups and downs, which could have affected the individual's early home environment. This might result in a complicated or strained relationship with the mother, where the bond is marked by emotional distance, misunderstandings, or even unresolved trauma. The mother's experiences may have influenced the individual's emotional development, leading them to become more guarded or emotionally intense. There is also the possibility that the mother figure was secretive, which could have shaped the individual's approach to their own emotions and relationships. The challenges faced in the maternal relationship can manifest in the person's adult life as difficulty trusting others, especially in intimate relationships. One of the most defining characteristics of the moon in the 8th house is the individual's deep need for emotional connection, coupled with significant trust issues. These individuals crave profound, transformative relationships where they can connect with others on a deep emotional and psychological level. However, their experiences and inherent distrust make it difficult for them to fully open up and trust their partners. This can lead to possessiveness, jealousy, and a tendency to be controlling in relationships as a way to maintain a sense of security. Their intense emotional nature makes them prone to becoming easily attached to others, often due to a deep-seated need for nurturing and unconditional love. However, the fear of betrayal or emotional harm can cause them to withdraw or keep their true feelings hidden. This secretive nature, while protective, can sometimes be misinterpreted by others as being shady or untrustworthy, leading to further complications in their relationships. While the moon's placement in the 8th house presents significant challenges, it also opens the door to profound spiritual and mystical experiences. The 8th house is the realm of the occult, hidden knowledge, and transformation, making this a powerful placement for those inclined towards mysticism, astrology, spiritual healing, and the study of life's deeper mysteries. Individuals with this placement often have a natural affinity for the occult and may possess psychic abilities or an intuitive understanding of the unseen aspects of life. Their ability to understand and navigate the complexities of life, death, and transformation makes them excellent counselors, healers, astrologers, and spiritual guides. They have a deep understanding of human emotions and can often see through the superficial layers to the core of an issue, making them invaluable in roles that require emotional intelligence and psychological insight. The 8th house also governs health issues related to the reproductive system, as well as conditions that arise suddenly or are difficult to diagnose. Individuals with the moon in the 8th house may experience health problems related to the lungs, swelling, or waterborne diseases. The emotional stress and turbulence associated with this placement can also manifest in physical ailments, particularly those related to the stomach or digestive system. These individuals might have a heightened awareness of their own mortality, leading to a preoccupation with health and longevity. This can sometimes result in hypochondria or an excessive focus on preventing illness, but it can also motivate them to pursue healthy lifestyles or explore alternative healing practices. Despite the many challenges associated with the moon in the 8th house, this placement can ultimately lead to profound emotional resilience. Over time, Individuals with this placement often learn to navigate their emotional landscape with a level of calm and composure that can be deeply healing for others. Their experiences with loss, transformation, and emotional upheaval equip them with the tools to help others through similar challenges. By midlife, they often emerge as powerful healers, capable of offering support and guidance to those facing their own emotional crises. Their journey through the emotional trials of the 8th house can also lead to a deep inner strength and a transformative approach to life. They become comfortable with the darker aspects of existence, and their understanding of life's impermanence can lead to a more profound appreciation for the present moment and the relationships they hold dear. Individuals with the moon in the 8th house are intensely private and often keep their deepest emotions and thoughts hidden from others. They are not the type to openly share their feelings, and they may even go to great lengths to protect their privacy, such as avoiding phone calls or hiding their phone screens in public. This need for privacy can sometimes be misinterpreted by others, leading to misunderstandings or feelings of mistrust. However, this privacy is often a necessary defense mechanism for individuals who feel deeply and are acutely aware of the potential for emotional pain. Their ability to keep their true feelings hidden allows them to navigate complex social situations with a degree of detachment, even as they remain deeply affected by what is happening beneath the surface. Overall, the moon in the 8th house is a challenging yet deeply transformative placement that shapes an individual's emotional life, relationships, and spiritual journey. While it brings significant challenges, including emotional instability, trust issues, and health concerns, it also offers the potential for profound growth and resilience. By embracing the transformative energy of the 8th house, they can find strength in their vulnerabilities and turn their emotional depth into a source of healing and wisdom. The placement of the moon in the 9th house of a natal chart is a deeply enriching and transformative influence, bringing together the emotional and intellectual realms in a way that fosters growth, learning, and spiritual exploration. The moon, which governs the mind, emotions, mother, peace of mind, and the home environment, finds itself in the 9th house, a domain associated with religion, law, philosophy, higher learning, and the teachings of the parents. This combination creates a unique dynamic where the individual's emotional well-being is closely tied to their quest for knowledge, spiritual fulfillment, and the pursuit of wisdom. Individuals with the moon in the 9th house are naturally drawn to the exploration of religion, philosophy, and higher knowledge. Their minds are constantly seeking deeper meanings and understanding of the world around them. This placement often indicates a person who is not just intellectually curious but also emotionally invested in their spiritual and philosophical beliefs. Their quest for knowledge is not purely academic. It is deeply tied to their sense of purpose and emotional fulfillment. These individuals are likely to be lifelong learners, always seeking to expand their horizons, whether through formal education, travel, or self-directed study. Their intellectual pursuits are often guided by a strong sense of faith and a desire to understand the larger forces at work in the universe. This makes them not only seekers of knowledge but also teachers and mentors who share their insights with others. They have a natural inclination to disseminate the knowledge they gain, believing in the power of education to uplift and enlighten those around them. The moon's influence in the 9th house often manifests as a deep emotional connection to religious and spiritual practices. These individuals may have a strong religious upbringing or develop a profound interest in spiritual matters later in life. Their relationship with religion is not static. It evolves over time, reflecting the waxing and waning nature of the moon. There may be periods when they are intensely devoted to their spiritual practices, followed by times when they question or distance themselves from organized religion. Despite these fluctuations, the underlying drive to understand the divine and connect with higher truths remains a constant in their lives. They may find themselves drawn to religious or spiritual leaders, seeking guidance and wisdom. This placement is also favorable for those who aspire to become religious gurus, professors of higher learning, or spiritual counselors, as their emotional and intellectual alignment with the 9th house themes allows them to guide others on similar journeys. The moon also represents the mother in a natal chart, and when positioned in the 9th house, it suggests that the individual's mother played a significant role in their intellectual and spiritual development. The mother may have been a source of wisdom, imparting important life lessons and values that shaped the individual's worldview. She may have been highly educated or deeply spiritual, influencing the person's own approach to learning and faith. This maternal influence often extends to the individual's relationship with their children, as they are likely to pass on the teachings they received to the next generation. The respect and dedication they show towards their father or father figures are often mirrored in the way their own children regard them. The strong family values associated with this placement emphasize the importance of tradition, education, and moral integrity within the household. Travel plays a significant role in the lives of those with the moon in the ninth house. For these individuals, travel is not just a physical journey but an emotional and spiritual one as well. They are often drawn to distant lands and cultures as a means of expanding their understanding of the world and themselves. Travel provides them with a sense of emotional fulfillment and nurtures their need for constant stimulation and change. This placement can create a strong desire to escape the familiar and explore the unknown, driven by a belief that new experiences hold the key to personal growth and enlightenment. They may idealize other cultures or places, believing that the grass is greener on the other side. However, this idealization is often balanced by a practical approach to making their dreams a reality, as the moon in the ninth house also bestows a certain level of luck and the ability to manifest their visions. Despite their intellectual and spiritual inclinations, individuals with the moon in the ninth house are also known for their strong work ethic and sense of self-worth. They are not content to rely solely on luck, even though fortune often favors them. Instead, they are diligent and hardworking, believing that their success is a result of both their efforts and the opportunities provided by fate. This placement often brings financial stability and the accumulation of wealth, particularly through ventures related to education, law, religion, or travel. These individuals are likely to be respected by their peers and may even receive recognition from influential figures, including government officials or leaders within their community. Their commitment to justice and ethical conduct further enhances their reputation, making them trusted advisors and role models. For those with the moon in the ninth house, emotional fulfillment is closely tied to a sense of purpose and higher meaning. They are happiest when they are engaged in activities that align with their spiritual and intellectual values, whether that involves teaching, traveling, or participating in religious or humanitarian efforts. Their emotional well-being is nurtured by the pursuit of knowledge and the sharing of that knowledge with others. These individuals are visionaries with a strong sense of idealism. They have the ability to dream big and often possess the determination to turn those dreams into reality. However, they must be mindful of the tendency to become too absorbed in their visions, as this can lead to unrealistic expectations or a detachment from the practical aspects of life. Overall, the moon in the ninth house creates a rich tapestry of intellectual curiosity, spiritual exploration, and emotional depth. Individuals with this placement are guided by a deep-seated need to understand the world and their place within it. Their emotional and intellectual lives are intertwined, driving them to seek knowledge, connect with higher truths, and share their insights with others. While their journey is marked by constant change and a craving for new experiences, they find stability and fulfillment in their faith, family, and the pursuit of wisdom. Whether as teachers, spiritual guides, or lifelong learners, these individuals leave a lasting impact on those around them, inspiring others to embark on their own journeys of discovery and enlightenment. The moon's placement in the 10th house of a natal chart is a powerful and complex position, bringing the emotional, nurturing qualities of the moon into the realm of career, public life, and authority. The 10th house governs aspects of one's professional life, social status, reputation, and relationship with authority figures, and the father. When the moon, which represents the mind, emotions, mother, and home environment, is placed in this house, it creates a unique blend of sensitivity, ambition, and a deep connection between emotional well-being and professional success. Individuals with the moon in the 10th house have a strong desire to achieve authority, status, and recognition in their professional lives. Their minds find peace and satisfaction only when they are in positions of influence, or when their work is acknowledged by society. This drive is not just about personal ambition, it is deeply rooted in their emotional needs. For these individuals, career success is closely tied to their sense of self-worth and emotional stability. This placement often indicates a person who is very conscious of their public image and reputation. They care deeply about what society thinks of them and are motivated to maintain a positive and prestigious standing in their community. This concern with public perception can sometimes lead to restlessness and anxiety if they feel they are not living up to societal expectations or if they face criticism. One of the challenges for those with the moon in the 10th house is balancing their public life with their private emotional needs. While they thrive in the public eye and often find themselves in roles that require them to engage with the community or the public, they may struggle with maintaining emotional boundaries. Their sensitivity and emotional nature are not easily hidden, making them appear more open and accessible than they might intend. This can be both a strength and a vulnerability, as it makes them charismatic and relatable but also leaves them exposed to emotional hurt if they do not receive the admiration and recognition they crave. The 10th house is traditionally associated with the father, while the moon represents the mother, creating an interesting dynamic when the moon is placed here. This placement often suggests that the individual's mother may have played a significant role in shaping their career ambitions and professional life. The mother may have had a strong, authoritative presence, perhaps even taking on roles traditionally associated with the father. Conversely, the father might have been more nurturing and emotionally supportive, embodying qualities typically associated with the mother. This blending of parental influences can lead to a career-oriented mindset, with both the individual and their mother being highly focused on professional success. The teachings and expectations from the parents, especially the mother, have a lasting impact, driving the individual to pursue a career that not only satisfies their ambitions but also fulfills an emotional need for validation and approval. The moon in the 10th house can lead to a wide range of career paths, particularly in fields where nurturing, caring, and public service are prominent. Professions such as nursing, medicine, counseling, and public leadership are well suited to this placement. These individuals have a natural ability to connect with others and provide emotional support, making them effective leaders and caregivers. However, no matter what career they choose, they are likely to aspire to positions of authority and influence, as their emotional well-being is closely tied to their professional success and recognition. Their approach to career decisions is often guided by their emotions and intuition. They may experience indecision when choosing a career path, as their desires and emotional needs can sometimes conflict with practical considerations. However, once they find a career that resonates with their inner values and provides the recognition they seek, they are likely to excel and achieve significant success. Individuals with the moon in the 10th house are highly sensitive to public recognition and feedback. They have a deep need for approval and admiration from others, and when they receive it, they are motivated and inspired to achieve even greater success. However, when they feel unappreciated or overlooked, they may become moody and emotionally distressed. This sensitivity can be both a driving force and a potential weakness, as they must learn to balance their need for external validation with a strong sense of inner self-worth. Their emotional sensitivity also influences how they interact with others in their professional life. They are likely to be nurturing and supportive in their public roles, often going out of their way to help and care for those they work with. This compassionate approach can make them popular and respected figures in their professional community, further enhancing their reputation and status. The moon in the 10th house often brings opportunities for travel, particularly in relation to career or business ventures. These individuals may find themselves frequently on the move, whether for professional reasons or personal exploration. Travel can be emotionally fulfilling for them, providing new experiences and perspectives that enrich their professional life and personal growth. However, this placement also suggests that they may face challenges in maintaining stability in their business ventures. They might find themselves switching careers or business paths more often than others, driven by a desire to find the perfect fit that satisfies both their emotional needs and professional ambitions. Despite these challenges, they are likely to achieve success and recognition, especially if they persist in their efforts and remain open to new opportunities. The impact of parental influence is particularly strong for those with the moon in the 10th house. The words and actions of their parents, especially the mother, have a profound effect on their emotional development and drive to succeed. Positive reinforcement from parents can propel them towards great achievements, while criticism or lack of support can create emotional challenges that they must overcome. Their approach to life and career often feels intuitive, guided by a deep-seated sense of purpose and a desire to fulfill the expectations placed upon them by their parents and society. This intuitive approach can lead to innovative solutions and creative problem-solving in their professional life, further enhancing their reputation and authority. Overall, the placement of the moon in the 10th house creates a powerful blend of emotional sensitivity, ambition, and a deep connection between personal fulfillment and professional success. These individuals are driven by a need to achieve recognition and authority in their careers, finding peace of mind and emotional stability through their professional achievements. Their public life is closely tied to their emotional well-being, and they thrive in roles that allow them to nurture, support, and lead others. Despite the challenges of balancing public recognition with private emotional needs, those with the moon in the 10th house have the potential to achieve great success and leave a lasting impact on their professional and personal communities. The moon's placement in the 11th house is a powerful position that brings the nurturing, emotional, and intuitive qualities of the moon into the realm of social networks, friendships, gains, and ambitions. The 11th house governs aspects of one's larger community, including elder siblings, large organizations, entrepreneurship, and long-term goals. When the moon, which represents the mind, emotions, mother, and home environment, is positioned in this house, it creates a unique blend of emotional sensitivity and social connection, deeply influencing the individual's interactions with the world around them. Individuals with the moon in the 11th house often find that their emotional well-being and personal success are closely tied to their social networks. Their friendships and connections within larger groups play a significant role in their lives, providing not just emotional support, but also material gains. These individuals are naturally drawn to forming and maintaining relationships within their community, often becoming key members of social organizations, clubs, or groups. This placement suggests that they will benefit greatly from their friendships and network circles, both financially and emotionally. Their friends and social connections can be instrumental in helping them achieve their goals, whether through direct support or by opening doors to new opportunities. The moon's presence in this house also indicates that the mother may be a significant source of support and gain for the individual, possibly influencing their social standing and helping them navigate their way through social structures. The moon in the 11th house is a favorable placement for entrepreneurship. These individuals have a natural ability to connect with others and build networks, making them well-suited for starting and running their own businesses. Their emotional intelligence and intuitive understanding of people's needs allow them to create products, services, or businesses that resonate with others, leading to significant gains. Their entrepreneurial success is often tied to their ability to adapt to different social environments and connect with people from various walks of life. This adaptability and their keen sense of social dynamics make them excellent at spotting opportunities and leveraging their network for business growth. However, they must be mindful of overextending themselves, as the desire to expand and take on more than they can handle may lead to struggles in keeping promises or meeting expectations. The emotional sensitivity of individuals with the moon in the 11th house is deeply tied to their social connections. They are often highly attuned to the emotions and needs of others, making them empathetic and supportive friends. This sensitivity also means that they are deeply affected by the quality of their relationships. When they feel loved and supported by their friends and social circle, they thrive and radiate happiness. However, when they feel isolated or unsupported, they may struggle emotionally and withdraw from social interactions. Their need for approval and validation from others is a significant aspect of this placement. They often rely on their intuition to navigate social situations, quickly assessing who is trustworthy and who might not have their best interests at heart. While this intuitive approach can protect them from potential harm, it can also make them emotionally vulnerable, particularly if they misinterpret social cues or feel rejected by their peers. Individuals with the moon in the 11th house are often seen as intellectual and knowledgeable, particularly in matters related to government and societal structures. Their reputation in society is generally positive, and they are often admired for their honesty, integrity, and ability to navigate complex social environments. They may also have a strong preference for travel or settling in foreign lands, where they can explore new cultures and expand their social networks. Their wealth and social standing are typically strong, and they may enjoy the comforts of luxury vehicles, a comfortable home, and a life surrounded by supportive friends and family. This placement also suggests a long life filled with opportunities to grow and evolve within their social circles. They are likely to stay happily connected with their family while also enjoying the benefits of a well-maintained social life, including the support of servants or assistants to manage their daily tasks. While the moon in the 11th house brings many advantages, it also presents challenges. The emotional instability that can come with this placement may lead to conflicts with loved ones, particularly when the individual feels unsupported or misunderstood. Their unconventional personality and independent nature might not always be well received by others, leading to misunderstandings or disapproval within their social circles. If the moon is afflicted in this house, these challenges can be more pronounced. The individual may struggle to connect with others on a deeper level, and their social interactions may feel awkward or inappropriate to those around them. This can lead to a sense of isolation or caution from others, making it harder for them to establish the close, supportive friendships they crave. In such cases, it is essential for the individual to work on emotional resilience and find ways to nurture their sense of security independently of external validation. For individuals with the moon in the 11th house, it is crucial to attach their mind and emotions to a higher purpose or goal that serves humanity. This connection to a broader mission can provide them with the emotional stability and sense of fulfillment they need to thrive. Whether through social activism, charitable work, or simply being a supportive friend, they can find deep satisfaction in contributing to the well-being of others. Their sensitivity to the pain and struggles of the world often drives them to ease others' burdens, and they are happiest when they can share their happiness and warmth with those around them. This need to nurture and protect others is a central theme in their life, and it can be a powerful motivator for personal and professional growth. Overall, the placement of the moon in the 11th house creates a dynamic and emotionally rich connection between the individual and their social environment. These individuals are deeply influenced by their friendships, social networks, and the larger community, finding both emotional support and material gains through their connections. However, they must navigate the challenges of emotional sensitivity and the need for external validation, learning to balance their desire for social connection with their need for emotional independence. Ultimately, by aligning their mind and emotions with a higher purpose, they can achieve both personal fulfillment and significant contributions to the world around them. When the moon occupies the 12th house in a natal chart, it creates a unique blend of emotional depth, sensitivity, and challenges. The 12th house is traditionally associated with losses, isolation, foreign lands, asylums, hospitals, and the subconscious mind. It's a house that governs the unseen and the intangible, making it a realm of introspection, spiritual growth, and hidden enemies. The moon, representing the mind, emotions, mother, peace, and domestic life, takes on a complex role when positioned in this house. The placement of the moon here can significantly impact an individual's emotional life, mental state, and relationship with their mother, among other things. Individuals with the moon in the 12th house are often highly sensitive and introspective. The 12th house's association with isolation and the subconscious mind makes these individuals deeply connected to their inner world. Their emotions are not easily understood by others, and they may find it challenging to express their feelings openly. This placement often leads to a rich inner life, where the individual spends considerable time reflecting on their thoughts, feelings, and the mysteries of life. Their heightened sensitivity means they are often attuned to the emotions and suffering of others, making them deeply empathetic and compassionate. However, this deep emotional sensitivity can also lead to overwhelming feelings, as they are prone to absorbing the energies around them. They may experience fluctuating emotions that are heavily influenced by subconscious patterns and past experiences. This can make their emotional state somewhat unstable, requiring them to retreat from the world periodically to recharge and regain balance. The 12th house is known for its association with solitude and isolation, and when the moon is placed here, the individual often seeks out secluded or quiet environments. They may find peace and solace in being alone, far from the hustle and bustle of daily life. This placement can create a person who enjoys spending time in isolated places, such as foreign lands, ashrams, monasteries, or even working in hospitals or other institutions associated with care and seclusion. Their mind finds balance and tranquility in such environments, and they may even feel compelled to escape the stresses of the outer world by retreating into their own private space. This inclination towards solitude can sometimes lead to escapism. They may find solace in activities that allow them to withdraw from reality, such as playing musical instruments, writing, painting, or other forms of artistic expression. If afflicted, they may turn to drugs or other destructive behaviors. These activities allow them to channel their emotions and imagination in a constructive manner, providing a therapeutic outlet for their intense feelings. The moon in the 12th house can complicate the individual's relationships, particularly with their mother. The 12th house's association with losses and the moon's representation of the mother suggests that the relationship between the individual and their mother may be strained or distant, especially in the early years of life. There may be a lack of understanding or emotional connection, leading to feelings of abandonment or unfulfilled nurturing. The mother might have been physically absent or emotionally unavailable, which can leave lasting imprints on the individual's psyche. In addition to challenges with the mother, this placement can make the individual prone to emotional turmoil. They may struggle with feelings of loneliness, confusion, and emotional instability. Their deep sensitivity makes them vulnerable to emotional pain, and they may find it difficult to cope with life's harsh realities. This can lead to a tendency to avoid confrontation or difficult situations, preferring instead to withdraw into their own world. One of the significant gifts of the moon in the 12th house is an enhanced imagination and creative ability. The 12th house governs the realm of imagination and dreams, and when the moon is placed here, the individual is likely to have a vivid imagination and a strong connection to the collective unconscious. This makes them naturally inclined toward creative pursuits such as writing, art, music, and poetry. Their creativity often draws from deep emotional experiences and subconscious themes, allowing them to express themselves in unique and profound ways. This placement is often associated with psychic abilities or a strong intuitive sense. The individual may have vivid dreams, premonitions, or an innate ability to sense what others are feeling. This psychic potential can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and understanding the deeper aspects of life, but it can also be overwhelming if not properly managed. The 12th house is also known as the house of losses, and when the moon is placed here, the individual may experience financial or material challenges. They might struggle with managing their expenses or have a tendency to spend recklessly. Despite their concerns about finances, they may find it difficult to control their spending habits, leading to periods of financial instability. This placement can also indicate losses related to the mother or other female figures in their life, either through emotional distance or material loss. Individuals with the moon in the 12th house often have a strong desire to serve others selflessly. The 12th house is associated with charity, service, and helping those in need, and when the moon is placed here, the individual may feel a deep calling to assist others, particularly in roles that involve caring for the sick, the elderly, or the less fortunate. This placement suggests a life path that may involve sacrifice and a focus on the well-being of others, sometimes at the expense of their own needs. Overall, the moon in the 12th house is a placement that brings both challenges and gifts. While it can lead to emotional struggles, isolation, and financial difficulties, it also endows the individual with deep sensitivity, creativity, and a strong intuition. The key to navigating this placement lies in embracing their inner world, finding healthy outlets for their emotions, and learning to balance their need for solitude with meaningful connections to others. By doing so, they can harness the profound potential of this placement and lead a life of introspection, service, and spiritual growth. As we wrap up this episode, remember that these insights are based on sidereal or Vedic astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference with the tropical zodiac. If you'd like more personalized predictions for your specific zodiac sign or have any questions about your astrological chart, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned for more astrological updates. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more astrology insights. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you once again for joining us, and we eagerly anticipate sharing more astrological wisdom with you in the future. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining bright.